Okay, we're live and welcome everyone. Our launch is now live as well of Next Level website content. And that is what we're going to be talking about today is how to power up your website with Next Level website content. And we're going to use some of the concepts from our new course and show those to you and show you just a few examples and a little peek inside the course as well so that you'll see that. And before we end, I will make sure that we have enough time for Sarah to show you the incredible launch bonus that she put together that is for people who get our two new things, the big Next Level website content course and the cool expansion pack, which also has something great in it that I want to show you, this assessment website grader that you're going to love. Okay, so first things first, I want to make sure that you add any questions down below. All right, so if you have any questions, just put them down in the chat. Say hi, we're checking out. Sarah is here. If you don't know Sarah Arrow, she's like my key right-hand team member, Team Sparks, and she helps with a lot of stuff. She is a pro on the content stuff here that we're going to be talking about on websites because she does a lot of that for a living, as does her husband, Kevin, the two of them together. So she's going to be adding a lot of insights in this as well. And that's pretty much it. I'm not going to hide that because that's kind of annoying. And who's here? Francis is here. Just say hello. We're watching and we want to see. Barb. Hey, Barb. Good to see you as well. All right. Shall we just jump right in?
Yep. It's really good stuff. So we've got to see this.
Okay.
It's incredible.
In fact, just so that you know what the URL is, because I know that people are going to ask me, it's contentsparks.com/NLWebContent. So that stands for Next Level Web Content. That's the pretty link. All right. Let's go back now. And I'm going to show you, how about let's share the screen. All right. That's just the sales page. All right. And I will just hide this banner so that it also doesn't irritate everyone. Okay. Hey, Gary, and whoever Fast Site launches. Good to see you. So this is just the sales page. So you can go to that anytime, take a look. You'll see what's in it, what's covered, this cool roadmap, which I'm going to show. I can show you separately. So this is the main structure of the course. So we've got laying the foundation, rethinking your website design and structure. So in that, you look at the current main pages you have, and the course goes through some things that you can do to kind of change that up a bit and make them more engaging. Long form content, why that's important. The 3 different strategies for long form content. We'll show you those, examples of those. Some short form content you want to add in to keep things fresh. I can just quickly show you a couple of those. And then something about content series, which not everyone maybe knows what that is on a website. So we'll show you what that means as well. So that's kind of the course roadmap, and we're going to touch on just some highlights from each one in this session. We have just a little under an hour to do that. All right, and then we've got other stuff that we need to go to. So let's go over to the course book so I can show you that. Go back to the beginning. And this is what the course book looks like. Here, let me make this full screen. It'll make it a little bit easier to see. I know you're not supposed to be able to read this in detail. I just want to show you what it's all about. All right, and actually, it might be easier to show you it on slides. Is that a little bit easier?
Yep, that looks good.
Okay, so I'll make this just a little bit. These are the slides you'd get when you get a license to this course. All right, so that's why it says your logo here, because I want to make sure you see that this is all stuff that's brandable to you. This is the content we're giving you highlights on, and then it's brandable. So effective website content. These are the things that your website should be doing now, but traditional website content doesn't always do this. So you should be increasing awareness, engaging your audience, forging a connection, generating leads, boosting search engine. And the problem is, let's go back. So the problem is your traditional websites have a home page, an about page. You have maybe a contact page and a blog, which people put regular blog posts on. Okay, I've got an idea, I do an article, maybe add a video and a graphic, and you don't go much beyond that. Usually there's something around some sort of sales page of some sort, or a page where you're doing services. In our other course, Strategic Website Content, we also recommend doing a Start Here page. So that's a little bit different. That's actually a little bit more next level, but it's in our other course. And that's for people who are brand new to your website and to your business, walking them through the basics. So that's standard stuff, all right? And you can always get that in the other course and go through it. Next level is the stuff that's going beyond that, because everyone else has all the other stuff, you're going to do things that change that up, that drive more traffic, because if everyone else is doing the other stuff, you need to do something different to really get noticed more and engage people. So that's the point on this course. You don't want to just be doing the same old stuff as everyone else. All right. And Amy Jo, thanks. You said the course looks fantastic. You haven't even seen everything yet. Wait till you see the rest.
It really
This
is
one of my favorites.
Visuals are incredible. It
I think
really help a
Sarah
lot.
will probably have it selling by the end of the weekend, so you have to move fast too.
End of the day. End of
End
the
of the
day.
day. Oh no. Yeah, she moves fast. All right, let's go through a few of the slides. So this is this course map that I just showed you, which are the things that the course talks about. I'm not going to go through every single learning objective. You can see that, what's covered. Let's see. So the first module is on laying the foundation. So the first thing you're always going to need to do is look at who your target audience is, as well as your existing content. So you'll see that we have this in practically every course, something about your target audience, but it is essential always to have that in your mind when you're looking at your website. And there's a few things in here about what you need to look at on that. Observing how they're interacting with your products, following their activity, things like that. And then you need to look at your current website and do a little bit of an audit, looking at your essential pages, competition, keeping your target in mind, and then evaluating each of your pages on your site. And there are some action steps in there where you can get a site map and download it, do a website review. So looking at what things you need to keep, redirect. Anytime you're doing any kind of tweaks to your website, you're going to want to do that. And then we talk about rethinking your website design and structure. So these are those pages I talked about, the Start Here, Home, About Us, your blog. And you want to take a look at that. You can look at reinventing your About page a little bit, shake it up with some different things like an explainer video, before and after photos, a tour, things like that. Let's, do a little work on that to take that to the next level as well. You can add an internal search tool to your website. So this is all basics on the website itself. These are things that help keep your visitor on. You can add a manifesto page. This is something big that Thrive Themes loves. What's his name? Shane
Millar.
Thank you. Don't ask me to spell it, please. But he's terrific, and he's big on the manifesto page. So that's another thing you can do. So in the course, you'll want to go through and do some of that stuff. There's some questions to answer, thinking about your about page, and adding some other stuff. And then you go into long form, and that's a key thing we want to talk about today. Long form. Sarah, why don't you talk about why long form is so important? I can put you back on screen if you want.
Okay, long form content sucks in traffic. Every piece of research that's out there indicates the best pieces of content that are in the top 4 on the page 1 of Google are all over 2,100 words. So that means you've got to write 300 words a day. And do you remember those days when 300 words used to be a blog post? Those are gone. So long form content is something that if you invest 300 words a day, you have one piece a week, which is really good. In fact, if you can do one piece every other week, you're still going to be head and shoulders above everybody else when it comes to long form. It's all catching today, isn't it? Long form content. But long form content, everybody seems to think it's pounding out an article, and 300 words a day is doable as one article because it gives you 2,100 at the end of the week. But there are other ways of doing long form content, ways that are more enjoyable, that you've done all the research in your content audit and you've looked at the competition. Well, what about if you use some of that knowledge that you've gained, not just to improve your website, but to turn it into pieces of content? So if Sharon can share the screen, we'll show you some examples of some fantastic long form content.
Okay. This was just the slide. So this is kind of what you were just saying.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see. So we talked about long form content issues. So this course does go through a little bit more on some issues and stuff and tactics you can do to actually make long form content. So things like epic lists, ultimate guides, case studies. But then we go through 3 particular strategies, right? Types of long form content. Hub and spoke is also called pillar page. So we're going to talk about them in terms of pillar pages, skyscraper, and ladder. Those are the 3 main ones. And whoops, I'm going. So a pillar page typically has one core thing, one core topic. It's a bigger topic, a bigger keyword, and then clusters around it that are smaller keywords that relate to that bigger one, and they all interlink. So I can show you an example of a pillar page. Let me just find it here. So here's one example of a pillar page that Typeform did. And it has a little table of contents here on the left. They really should have an image here. I think maybe it's disappearing on my screen. But you'll see that this is brand awareness, nearly everything you need to know. I love the way they said nearly everything. They're not claiming that it's everything in the world. And it goes through a whole bunch of stuff. It has links to other articles of theirs, as well as a few outside links. And then it goes through chapters, basically the basics of brand awareness. They've got a bunch of stuff in there. And there's quite a bit, but there's also going to other pages of theirs. Then we've got various steps. This is still part of the same section, so you can see how this really is like a complete guide. And they must be optimizing on the keyword brand awareness because that's their main URL and everything they're doing. And then these sub ones, how to track your brand awareness. Let me see where else they link to. They should be linking out to other places on their main site. I'm trying to find. Each one really should. But for some reason, they're not. So maybe it's not the best example.
What it is a fantastic example of is excellent content design, because when you've got a big piece of content like that, it's tempting to make it full width across your screen. But the trouble with that is when it's full width across the screen, you turn your head to the left and you move your head as you read across the page, or you look left to right, and that's tiring. Your brain gets tired and your eyes get tired of all that left to right movement. So this content design, you'll see that that's probably around 80 characters long and
Mm-hmm.
then there's a new sentence or a new line. And what that narrow funnel of content does is it makes it very easy to read. And before you know it, you've read 3/4 of the page.
Look at this. It goes on for ages.
Yeah. It would go on less if it was fully across the page, but people wouldn't read it because the content design of it would be so tiring. So by making those narrow columns, they've made it a better reading experience, and it makes it more likely for you to be able to read the entire of the article. So if you're teaching people how to create long form content like this, you can talk about the content design. And if you go into your templates in your website, you will see that you have options, and in WordPress specifically. If you're on something else, you're on your own. But in WordPress, you can have it
Let me
full
see if I
width,
could find one.
or you can make it narrower, and you can even custom make templates so that you've got the narrow column. If you're on my site, you will see all of my content is narrow column because I want you to read as much of it as possible without your eyes and your brains getting tired.
Yeah, I'm going to show you an example so that you can see what we're talking about.
Mhm.
So I'll show you this post in a second as well. It's an example of another type. But at the bottom, you'll see layout settings. And this is what Sarah was talking about, how you can have different settings like this. And there's the wide version. So you can eliminate the sidebar. That's what you're talking about, right?
You would want the sidebar in because the wide version, and there's been a
Oh.
current trend for wide version for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and you want the sidebar in, even if your sidebar is empty.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
John's saying most of our visitors on our websites read on mobile, which automatically truncates and makes the reading experience great. Believe it or not, John, you're in the minority when it comes to having a mobile responsive website, which is why Google introduced that penalty last year that said if you didn't have mobile responsive, we're going to drop you down the rankings. People don't have mobile responsive sites. I know it's, 10 years we've had devices, longer than 10 years, that we can read on our phones, and people still don't do it with the websites. And it's so frustrating.
And yet it's so easy to do because most things do have that option.
Yeah.
Although, so long as you have a theme that can do that. Mine's definitely mobile responsive, but you have to make sure your stuff is set up with big enough text and images and stuff like that to break it up. That's really important. So this is the same, it's going to be the same idea in desktop and mobile. Actually, Francis asked something else. I'm considering using the course yourself and selling to other coaches. Other coaches are not my current target audience, but they are in many shared groups. Well, you should.
More, John. Yeah, Francis, go and buy coaching websites that work.com and go for it. Because if this is something that you've used yourself and you've got your pieces of content, because you can do an epic post about why most coaching businesses fail, and you'll be shared all across the coaching world. They'll all be arguing and sharing your post and debating the infinite points of it. And you'll always find somebody who says, well, I think she's left a dangling participle there. And you'll be like, what? You really missed the point of this post. But you will be getting everybody talking. And coaches do, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to offend every coach listening. Coaches, you got to write sensible content. Nobody cares where you went on holiday for breakfast. Nobody cares that you're eating a blinking meat-free diet on a Monday, right? You all think it's really, really important. Nobody cares. They want the content that's about them. Yet all the coaches I know, except for the ones that I've trained, write about the most random things ever and say, people really want to connect to me. And I say, that's great. How much did your website cost? And then I get this like 5-figure sum being bandied around. And I said, that's great. And they said, but it's really me. I said, yeah, but it's not about you, is it? It's about your clients. If it was all about me, my website would be jet black with gold splashes and red lightning on it, but it ain't. It's far more sensible. And I
Yeah.
think you'd clean up, Francis. I think teaching coaches how to create better content, one that focuses on the customer, and long form content that gets results, I think you're going to be minted.
Yeah. Then
Yeah.
using it yourself first, using it yourself first is what's going to give you the examples to show them as well. Okay. John said, really, I should be charging more.
Yeah.
Most people do not charge enough. Definitely. Barb asked, would mobile responsive be a point to emphasize in this same topic? Yeah.
Yep.
It's a great way to customize it right there. You can add in stuff on mobile responsiveness. You're already halfway there and ready to sell this. Barb also so right on the coach content. Yep. Unless you're a wellness coach. What do you mean? You mean that you shouldn't get personal? It should always be about whoever your customer is.
She can talk about green smoothies and things
Oh,
like that. She's a wellness coach.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
Smoothies are not selling for you, then you don't talk about them.
Yes, exactly. All right. So let's go back a second. I wanted to show you something else about pillar pages. We were talking about it being that hub and spoke where you have a main thing. So we were looking at my website at Content Sparks, and here's an example. I have a blog post, a really long blog post called Creating and Selling Online Courses. And originally it is a roundup where it links out to other posts of ours on different topics around online courses. So you can see you've got a little summary of each one. And this is the perfect starting point for a pillar page. So we're going to go back, actually just waiting for a brand new theme that we're putting in place on the site on Thrive Themes that has a good template for pillar pages, or so I'm told by Sarah.
It's fabulous.
So you can see now, and that's why doing that content audit's important, because here we have a keyword we should be optimizing for on online courses, creating online courses. I have all this content about it and even a roundup, but I don't have a pillar page about it. So we're going to take that, and Sarah is going to help me put that together into a pillar page. And then we have other pages. Actually, let's go back now and look at some of the other types of long form content. I think you're getting the point now about the pillar page. I hope so. So then we've got, this was an example. There's a couple examples in the course, but you'll probably want to add ones that are directly relevant to your customers and their audience, okay? Versus like we have something about LinkedIn marketing strategies. But if you're a wellness coach or you're a coach working with other businesses that are in a completely different field, then you would want to put a different example here of what a pillar page might be, what the topics might be. That's important. So then we've got skyscraper content. Skyscraper content is longer stuff where you want to do well in the search engines, and it has a lot of backlinks to other content so that you're attracting backlinks and you're attracting people. And an example is, let's go back.
You get a sneak peek of this now because it's not actually live until Saturday.
Okay, so here's one that Sarah just put together. That's website content, the ultimate guide to website content success. So this is a very long post with lots of GIFs of Sandra Oh. And lots of giffies there. And you'll see that there are one or two internal links, but most of them are going external to other content where there's source material. So I love this one. Writing your website homepage, stressful. Somebody sedate me. You don't need sedating. And the about page, Sarah was just talking about, nobody cares really about you. It's not about you. It's about them. And there's more information there. Services page. So there's some quotes and links out there with more information. Got one internal link to our other course, strategic website content that's relevant. But then most of this, again, is out. types of long form content. Sarah, you were going crazy with the GIFs, but I love them. Manifesto page. So this is an example of skyscraper. And then we'll have a little planner, I think, that we're working on. There's still a little bit of work going on this page, but you'll see it on Saturday. And then this one you were also saying, Sarah, is more of a skyscraper, the 20 ways to use brandable content, right?
Yeah, I think that's more skyscraper. I know you thought differently and thought pillar, but to me that was more skyscraper. Or was it the other way around? I thought pillar and you thought skyscraper.
I was thinking this could also be something that links to a pillar page that's all about using PLR. Mm-hmm. So you could have we can have a pillar page that's on that, and this could be one of those clusters that links in. But it is also skyscraper because we've got all this stuff about 20 ways to use PLR, brandable content, and then there's links to other sites and other resources in here. So there's ideas and there's links out to various resources, and it just goes on for a bit. So it's a decent length, pretty comprehensive. And then, we love doing content upgrades, these opt-ins with a PDF for a checklist or something. Lydia's trying to, here, let me go back a second.
A pillar post is
I'm going to show you something
specifically on your own content, Lydia. So as John says, we call them content silos. Other people on the internet give them different names. So a pillar post would be, say that you're trying for online courses, you would have your page. Now this is a page, not a post. Your page would be called online courses. And then all of the pieces of content, blog posts and videos that you've written around online courses, you would put into subsections. So you would have your how, your when, your why, your where, and your who. So that gives you lost count now, 5 sections. And then you would put your how content into the how part. You would put who could do online courses and who they're for, and any content you've related to that in the who part, and so on. So that's you creating a pillar page, or as me and John call them, silos, where you link to your own content, your own videos, your own blog posts, your own opt-ins, and anything related to that key phrase. They go on that page. Then whenever you mention the word online courses on your site, you would link to that pillar page. Now, a skyscraper is a blog post, so there's a difference in the dynamic there. And you would go and research. So say you were doing the ultimate guide to online courses, you would go and research all of the other articles around online courses, and you would take extracts from each of these articles and you would put them in your post, and you would link to your source, and you would order them so they make sense. So a pillar is your content and a content that you link to throughout your thing. A skyscraper is where you link to other people's content to build a formidable resource, and then you contact all of those people and say, I've linked to you in this post. If you like it, would you please share it? And they go out and share it. But because it's such a powerful resource that you've created, other bloggers and business owners come over and link to that content, which increases the ranking. So that's the main difference. Most people will link to your skyscraper. Few people other than you and your besties will link to the pillar pieces.
Right. And then the ladder, which is the third one we talked about, is links to and from other sites, standalone, specific topic. That's why I brought up this particular graphic that shows the difference. But it doesn't tend to link on other pages on your own website. So if I can show you another one that we did that is on how to promote your free Kindle book, right? So this one has tons of links out to other resources. This is also kind of an epic list post, but you can see how they all link out. It really isn't going to internal stuff except to promote one thing at the bottom, one of our courses, right? So hopefully that's okay. Lydia, you said you got it now, so that's great. Barb, let us know if you still don't get it, but we can go through more. I want to show you some more stuff. All right. And there's more list stuff in there. And then the last thing. So that would be a piece of ladder content. Why it's called ladder, I'm not actually sure. We were just discussing this. I guess you're kind of climbing up other people's links, growing. There are a lot of different terms. You could call it something else. It's just like pillar, people also call silo, and the hub and spoke. So you can change it. All right, so let's go back.
Remember with the ladder content is whatever industry you're in has events. So people search those events. So if you're in book marketing, you'll know that Frankfurt has this amazing book fair, London has this amazing book fair, but there's also lots of other places that have little book fairs. And if you put all of those resources together, people will share it. Your industry peers will link to it. And all of the people who are thinking of going to a book fair will start sharing it and talking about it. So your post, your ladder piece of content is valuable to your target audience. You might sit there and think, but I don't do events and conferences. Why have I got to write about somebody else's events and conferences? But the thing is, your audience are looking for that. And they are looking to see where they can go to make connections and to talk to people. And if you provide them that information and you call it, say, the ultimate list of social media marketing events for 2021, or the ultimate list of book marketing events 2021, people will be attracted to it and they will come over and look at it and they will share it because it's such a powerful resource. And all of those people, particularly if you're selling them how to market books, are your target audience.
Yep. So something people will want to bookmark and share. Okay. So let's keep moving on because we're going quickly here, and let's see what else I can show you. So what else would you like to see? I'm not going to go any more through the course book, I don't think. Oh, actually, you know what we can look at is a form of one of the short forms. So that's the module on long form. And then we do talk a little bit about adding short form content in. So you're not going to be able to always create long form content. It takes time. Right. But you can talk about events, doing a little tutorial, success stories, throwbacks, all these different sorts of things, buzz, myth building, Q&A. And as an example, I'll show you one of ours that I would call short form. And here's one where I just did a quick tutorial. Some people have been asking how to create a short link, and I use pretty links to share in emails and stuff. So I quickly put together, I think this is a 6-minute video to show how I do it, gave a little summary. I don't even think, sometimes I put the steps in. So I'll outline the steps before I do the video, and then I'll put those in the post as well. Really quick to create. And there's that's short form content. But talking about the myths, Q&A, that stuff is a really great segue to the last one, the very last section, which is on content series. So we've got, there's some tips in there. So the last module is capturing attention with a content series. And a content series is basically content that goes together, that you share one after the other. So in the course, we talk about 2 examples, a welcome series and a buzz building series. So I'm just skipping around here a bit, but the welcome series, let's see if I can. So here's an example that you can do. Say somebody opts into your email list, right? you don't have to just be sending them emails and have everything in emails. You can have a series of posts on your website, content you've created, that you send them to. And that way you're still nurturing those leads, but you're sending them, you don't have to create brand new content. You're sending them to the site, which also gets them into your website, exploring and looking at other stuff. And that's all part of nurturing that relationship and helping them and showing the value. So here's an example of one series you could do is to do a myths about whatever your topic is, the top mistakes that you make, some solution, and sending them to a work with me page. So a lot of people just put those into emails, whereas you just create some short blog posts on that and send them to that as your welcome series of content. And you can do the same thing with a launch. So let me go down to what we call a buzz building series, right? So you say you have a new product coming out. A lot of people just put that stuff in emails and send it out as an email series. Instead, you can put it on your website as content and be sending people to that page. It's actually kind of similar to what I think Jeff Walker does with his product launch formula, where he's doing a series of videos. They're on a website. You're not sending them to YouTube. You're not putting them in your emails. You're sending them to something, and they'll keep exploring and go from one to the next. So it keeps getting your people back to your website as well and returning. And then they also get used to going back to your website. So this is just some examples. So you can do unboxing and sneak peeks, a mini training, the countdown timer you can put on there, new bonuses, stuff like that is all building buzz. So getting them into your website as that series. I'm just going to see. I'm not going to go further into that because I do want to have time to show you other stuff.
Show them the expansion shown.
All right.
Everybody on tenterhooks.
Okay. And then you'll show the other bonus. So the expansion pack, I'm just going to take a look here and see what we've got. So the expansion pack is just, it's not content that you have to teach the course. Our expansion packs are things that are just a little bit more extras that you can use for lead magnets. Excuse me. I'm losing it today. And in here, we've got some social media images. We've got something about using infographics and a worksheet on that. Something on.
So open it up. So
oh, whoops. Sorry. I'm just sort of looking at it. Let me close all this other stuff. All right. I'm just moving along here. Let me close my notes. So you can't really see this anyway, but there's stuff on infographics, stuff on videos and embedding videos. And then there's this website grader. So we have it in a doc, but I'm going to open up the actual thing. So this is we do a doc form, a Word, a Word document where people have to self-grade, but we also put it into Excel. And this way people can go through and do a little assessment. And this is actually great for a lead magnet, but also great for a bonus or an introduction in your course to kick it off and get people involved. So they go through and they answer these questions, and it automatically is assigning points. There's some instructions in here if you want to change anything that come with it. And then I'm just going to randomly click some different things to show you how it works. So you don't have to click everything, right? I think, how many questions are there in here? 15. There are 15, right? And it automatically grades it. So you'll see 57, and then there's a scoring system here where you're just going to edit this to put in your own calls to action. So for instance, 60 to 75, you're headed in the right direction, you have a lot of knowledge, blah, 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 opt into the free blank and get one step closer. So the wording's there that you can just tweak, or you're trying so hard, you just need a little extra help, head here and download whatever freebie you're doing, and then take a look at this course, and so on. So this is a really great thing to get in the expansion pack. And like I said, there's that other stuff as well in there, aside from the website grader. There's this, let me show you this one. So there's something on making infographics part of your web content strategy. This is all extra stuff. Don't have to get it, but you know you want it, right? I know Sarah.
Yeah.
Did you get it, Sarah?
I've got it. I've got it all. You know me, Sharon. I buy everything.
So then there's worksheets. So like I said, these are great as bonuses, lead magnets, stuff like that. And then the other thing we want to show is the launch bonus. I'm sorry you can't see this really well, but you don't need to. So there are two bonuses. There's a bonus Trello board, which everybody always loves our Trello boards. It's a digital version of the action guide in Trello, which is a free tool. That anyone who buys the main course and the expansion pack gets. But during the launch, which ends Wednesday, I should really put that up on the screen, Wednesday the 14th, you'll also get, if you get the main course and the expansion pack, you'll also get this special launch bonus, which is a planner. Do I have it open? Yes. It's a planner set up in PowerPoint, ready for you to add your branding. There's instructions, right? Ready for you to add your picture, edit however you want. And then you can convert it to a PDF. We give you a PDF template as well and upload to Kindle. And Sarah, now is your cue to show what you've already done with it.
I'm just going to get ready to share the screen with you.
Okay.
Can you see that? Is it coming
No,
on?
I probably need to stop sharing mine. And now you add yours and I'll put it into the stream for you.
Okay. Mine has gone white. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
We lost it.
Open, Sharon. I may have to send you the link.
Yep.
I've got the whirling screen of death. If you can open up Amazon.
Yeah, I can open up Amazon or you can send it to me, but let me go into Amazon then and pull it up because we will be able to see it. Let me share my screen again and I will show you. Hang in there, everybody. Okay, I'm going to do it like this.
If you type in Next Level Content Planner.
Amazon.com. And I'm going to put in next level content or website content. Next level website content or content. I'm going to put in website content. Do I have to go to the UK for this? You mean you're not ranking? I mean, oh yeah. Okay. So next level content planner. It comes up as number 1. Yahoo! John has to go to dinner. All right. You can come back, John, and watch the rest of this as you want. You'll be buying later as usual. Awesome. And Barb said the planner is awesome. Love it. And the Trello boards rock as well. All right. So this is the content planner that Sarah put together we've lost her. I'm sure she'll be back soon. She put this together from that launch bonus and she added her branding. You can see there with her sparkly cover. I think we can probably open it and see a little preview inside as well. So you can see that's where it was. She added her picture and it's all in there. See? All the stuff that she did. And then there's the back. That's just the preview with all this. So this is the sort of thing you can do. And we gave you instructions as well. Sarah's just trying to get me right now. But that's what you can do as well. And that's your peek into that. All right. If you have any questions about that, Sarah's back. I already shared it, Sarah. You missed it all.
I was going to say, it's a little bit blurry, and I've even got my sparkly dress on to match my planner.
Oh, wait. Now, show us the sparkles. Show us the sparkles.
Match my planner.
Match. Let me go to the back, the first page again.
Mm-hmm.
There. Next level website, next level content planner. And it comes up as number 1 on when you search for next level content planner, which is awesome.
Did you
All
say
right.
about our recommended pricing for this, Sharon?
Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't. What's your recommended pricing
Our
right now?
recommended pricing for this is $14.99 minimum.
Yep.
And the reason for this is we don't want you to undersell what you're doing, because this is a fantastic program. It really is fabulous. And I know some people, they might not be confident in their own training skills. They might not be confident in their content. They might think that selling it for not a lot is a good thing to do, but it isn't. You know, this should be the start of your funnel. It could be a gift that you send to people, and it can be a revenue stream on Amazon on its own. So it's a really powerful thing. And you can color it and customize it to your heart's content, but don't sell it and not make any profit. I think from having it at $14.99, your profit from that is $6.52.
Yep. So that is definitely worth getting as something that we're just doing in the first few days. So that ends on Wednesday. And again, that's for people who get both the main course and the expansion pack. And I will just show you that URL again. So that's contentsparks.com/NLWebContent. And we should just put that in the comments as well, okay? So that you have it.
So if you get the quiz, you can use the quiz to sell your opt-in and then promote your course through the email marketing. You know what email marketing to do for them because it's right there. You do your myth busting, you do the misconceptions, you do the next one, and then you send them the work with me, which is buy my course. So you know the sequence to follow up with them. You can use it yourself. You'll know how well it works. And when somebody buys your course and you sell it to them for, say, $300, you can order one of your planners off of Amazon and post it to them and say, thank you for buying my course. And if you did the thing with Ken Krell, which was brilliant, it's all about the experience. And if you've got, where is it?
That was the virtual summit that you're talking about.
Ken's book, his planner, is on my desk. Yeah. And your planner that you've uploaded to Amazon and sent to your customer, it will be on their desk and you will be top of their mind all of the time when it comes to next level content. Yeah. So I think Team Sparks has been brilliant with this because it really does all the heavy lifting, the quiz, the planner, the content. I recommend you buy it, even if you never teach it, just to do it yourself. It is that good. Or you can come and buy it off of me. I don't care.
And Barb said she's already working on the quiz this afternoon.
Yeah. Okay. Don't awesome. You be sharing that in my group, Barb. I'm going to be wanting to share it first.
Yeah, I like the quiz because it'll definitely lead people straight into the course. And I love the planner because most people don't do anything like that in general. It's such a surprise when someone sends you something physical these days. So you can make some sales from that and lead them into your course. You can send it as a gift for people. It's just something different. I know there are a lot of people who don't do anything on paper, me, but having that is something that a lot of people do enjoy. All right. And that is basically it today. Do you have anything else you want to add? Are there any other questions that we might have missed? Francis said, love inviting them to a series on the website. Yes. And you probably have all the content already on there, or you'll see a gap that you might easily fill. So that's a way that you can get some ideas. And we do actually give in the course, there's also an idea bank. Let me just go back a second. This is another thing that's in there. This is in the main course. There's this idea bank spreadsheet. So this is just another thing you can use. You could even use this. It goes with the course. It's in the with the action guide, but you could use it also for just as another freebie, right? Because people like shorter freebies these days, a lead magnet. Not everybody wants.
Teach it on a live stream and get people into your welcome sequence. It's a really good thing.
Yeah. So now don't always think about stuff just as it's laid out. I know I don't want to confuse you by giving all these different options. I try not to do that, but I know it happens. But try and stay open-minded about the contents and not having to use them exactly as is or all at once. Because if you're not ready to pull the course together right away, you can pull out elements and use it to start building your list. And once you start building your list of people interested in the topic, when you're ready to sell the course, you've got sales immediately because those people already know you, you know they're interested, and they're just going to want to buy it. And then you'll get feedback on how else you can change the course to sell even more and even more. And then you'll add on with other things. And remember, there are, aside from the expansion pack, there are a couple other things you might want to get as well, like our strategic website content course, which is about those basic pages. So if your people are very new and they're not quite ready for that next level content, you can start them out with strategic website content, that course as well. Do I need to go into that? No, we don't have time to go into that as well, I'm afraid. So you'll see it. This is important. First, Barb, Idea Bank is not in the Trello board. That's a really good idea to do, though. So you could take that, make that your own bonus, and just have each one of the columns in there, or I don't know, play with it and see how it works out, because you might want to share it. And then Sarah said your content planner comes in a hard copy. I'll let you take
paperback, and my version is glossy because the research shows that people are reluctant to throw away things that feel good, and glossy feels good. And if you think about all of those car showroom brochures and holiday brochures and catalogs, they all have glossy outsides and glossy pages, so people don't throw them away because they feel expensive. So mine's glossy. It's paperback. Mine's 8x5, but you have on your template an A4. So you really own the desk space. It's a really good thing to give to clients and even use yourself to grasp some of the big concepts that you're going to be teaching. So it's a really powerful thing. I am really, really gutted because I started that on the 24th of September and I have to wait until the 4th of November before I get my copy. Everybody in the world can order a copy and get it in 2 days' time, but I have to wait until November for some reason.
Why?
Amazon, crazy. So I can't even promote it because I don't actually know what to do with it. I can't do an unboxing video and say, here, get this, it's wonderful, because I don't have it in my hand to show it.
But it'll be a surprise. It can be a surprise bonus that you send to people afterwards. It's going to keep them back involved in the course also. So that's not such a bad thing.
Right. The available sizes on the printed planner, you have A4. You can
letter as well.
Size.
No, I did it in both.
You did it in both? Sharon's done it in both sizes. So you've got a choice of sizes. And we've got a cover template with you. So you don't have to use the nightmare that is Amazon's launch cover creator. You can use that. I use that for the one here, which is why I don't like it. Barb, you're in the VIP Live, and if you join the VIP Live before Sharon puts the price up next week, you'll see that there's a custom training just for you. It's about 22 minutes long, walking you through the steps of how to do the Amazon aspect of it. And I share all of the Amazon tips around keywords, categories. So it's like a mini masterclass, so you can absolutely nail this additional revenue stream. And it's really good.
This is just, I'm just pulling up the PowerPoint that you can see. We set it up and you just put in your own information, obviously, and your own cover and stuff. So we looked at the sizes on Amazon on KDP and sized a slide for each. So there's a folder in there that's for letter size, US 8.5 by 11. But the covers are some other weird sizing that they require. So we set that up. And then there's an A4 as well. Okay.
I mean, you've got a gap there for your ISBN number, so none
Right.
of. Barb, you're not allowed to sell PLR on Amazon Kindle. On
Right.
Amazon CreateSpace, you're having a different cover. You're going to have different things in the book itself, because Your About Me is not going to be the same as mine. It's not going to be the same as Sharon's. And then we're going to change colours, we're going to change fonts, and we're going to do things differently. So you can absolutely use it on Amazon because it will be unique to you. Can we go over the expansion pack? We've got 3 minutes, Sharon. 3 minutes.
All right. I did go through that a little bit already, but I'll quickly show you again. There's 4 things in there. There's a whole bunch of social media images that are in Canva that you can edit. There's something on infographics and infographic strategy. So this is kind of like an article in there, and it comes with a worksheet as well, right? And this is just an add-on. It's not essential to get, but this is all really great stuff that your people are going to want and you might want to use as bonuses or lead magnets. Then there's also something on videos. So this is on embedding videos in your long form content, and there's a worksheet for that as well. Good thing everything's opening on my website today. So there's that worksheet. And then the other thing I had talked about was that website grader, which you'll see as a doc where people would have to add up stuff themselves. But the main thing is the Excel spreadsheet, which is what I was showing you here, where people can grade it, all the different questions. There are 15 different questions, and then it automatically grades it. And there's a scoring key here where you can just edit that language however you want and fill in your call to action in there. So Sarah, you were talking about how you were going to use it as well. But the quiz is only part of the expansion pack, correct? Melanie, you asked about that. Yeah, so that assessment quiz is part of the expansion pack. So it's something you can use to get people into your course or to kick off the course, or how else were you going to use it? We lost you. You're muted.
A quiet Sarah Arrow. That's a rare thing. I'm actually going to have it on the homepage of a website that I've set up for this course because I think it is so phenomenal. It needs to be standalone. So they come to the homepage of the website, they go through, they get their grade, and it opts them into the list and follows them up based upon their thing. And you can do that with Active Campaign and Thrive Quiz integration. Mm-hmm. You may be able to do that with Try Interact if you try and put it in there. And I believe you'll be able to do it if you use Bucket.io from Ryan Levesque. So it's compatible with all the major quiz tools out there. We sat there and we done so much work on this. I can't tell you how much work. And it went round everybody in the team scoring and adjusting to fit it so that it fit everything for you.
And we had originally just done it in the Word document because that way you can set it up in Thrive quizzes or any of those other ones. I think maybe Lead quizzes might do it. I'm not sure, but Thrive is probably the most reasonable. Barb, can you just pop in what you use? She put it in already. One step ahead of me. Involve.me and the new one, Question Scout. Okay. But that's also why we did the Excel spreadsheet, because not everybody has a quiz tool or wants to pay for one. So you can just give people the spreadsheet as well and do it that way. You could, it won't work in Google Sheets though. You have to do it in Excel because there's a formula in there and we explain it in the instructions on how it works. Okay. And that is all for us today. Boom, 1 o'clock. That is exactly what we needed to end.
First time ever, right?
Yes. All right. So if you have more questions, please drop them into the comments. We'll keep an eye out for them. Otherwise, go to the website, contentsparks.com/NLWebContent, and grab your copy. Let us know if you have any questions as well, and we will answer them. All right. Take care, everybody. Can't wait to see the content that you create and what you do with your new courses. All right. Bye now.